It happens to be a woman by the name of Stacy, who is a professional in the real estate industry. And she's coming to us tonight from LA, and I hear that you are in a predicament, that the economy, the real estate market has gotten to you, my dear Stacy, even though you are a real estate professional. Is that true?
Definitely. I've been in the real estate industry for approximately 10 years now. Last year, I made approximately right at around $136,000. This year, I will be lucky if I hit the $40,000 mark. The change in market has caused such a damaging effect on my family, my income. I've lost a rental due to foreclosure.
I just briefly want to talk about this rental property that was foreclosed upon, because why? The person that you were renting to, obviously something happened. Why did that one property go into foreclosure?
I did have tenants, and they were actually going through a separation and divorce. Very difficult to get the rent. I did end up going through the eviction process with them. At the same time, I was rolling into an adjustable period, the whole time knowing that with being in the market that I'll refinance, before the adjustable time and everything will be fine. Not anticipating that the property will be $40,000 upside down before the adjustable period.
Right.
And that's so exactly what took place.
If you buy a rental, you have got to look at it like a business. So if we can just talk about this for a second, where you need working capital. And if you are buying a piece of property or income piece of property like a rental, where you are dependent on the rent coming in from your tenant to make your mortgage payment, you are asking for trouble, because if something happens to that tenant and they can't pay you, or the real estate market starts to go down and you need to sell and nobody wants to buy and you don't have the money to pay that mortgage, you're going to find yourself in the exact same situation as you're in right. Please, if you're going to take advantage of some of these tremendous drops in the real estate market for rental income, if you don't have at least 1 year worth of working capital to get you by with no income coming in, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you dare do it. All right, so we're looking at, before property taxes, before anything else, about $3,000 a month for you.
Yes.
Are rentals that you could rent right now cheaper than what you're paying for mortgage, property tax, and everything else?
Of course.
They are. All right. How much is your house currently worth?
My house is currently worth $550,000.
With no equity in it whatsoever.
I owe right now approximately $600,000.
$600,000. So we're only $50,000 right now underwater. However, it's increasing all the time because you don't have the money to spend the $3,000, $4,000 a month on that and keep your two daughters, feeding them and everything else, correct?
Exactly.
All right, here's what I want you to do, and I don't say it lightly. But in this particular situation, you either need to try to do a short sale back to the bank, and for all of you who don't know what that means, it's you find a buyer, you sell it for what you can, the bank agrees that the money that you owe them, you're short, but they'll settle. If you can't, you are ultimately already bankrupt, my dear Stacy, aren't you?
Yes.
You are, I know. And,
yes.
And so legally what you want to do is you want to stop the debt from growing and growing and growing. You're attached to this thing, and a home is not a whole. A home is something that has a foundation that you build on. Because the way you are paying your bills, what you owe is increasing every month. The real estate market, in my opinion, is not going to be good for another year or two. Please listen to me. There are other homes you can do this again. I would start over where I can afford to live somewhere for right now for $40,000 a year, and I would just go with it from there, even if that means I have to move out of the Los Angeles area. So please remember my one line and one line only. A home is not a hole.
Hi, Susie. I've been in the mortgage business for about 4 years now. Since I've been in the business, it's treated me very well and allowed me to buy an $832,000 home about 2 years ago. Recently, since the mortgage business has kind of taken a little bit of a toll, I'm making about $100,000 less than I have been in the past. Our savings has gone down to about 2 months left of reserves.
Aren't you glad you at least had those reserves?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I know. All right, so go on. How much are you making a year now, just so I know?
Currently, I'm at about $60,000 year to date.
All right, so the truth of the matter is, even a year ago, when you were making $160,000, wasn't an $832,000 home 2 years ago even, wasn't that a bit of a stretch for you?
Yes.
Yes, even then. So you bought it as because I don't mean to pick on you, you know I love you, but even as a mortgage broker, somebody who is incredibly knowledgeable in this area, what it takes to have a mortgage, what it costs to have a mortgage, you also got caught up in the mortgage hype of buying a home, more of what you can afford, didn't you?
Right.
You did, see, and I just had to bring that to this point because so many people are saying that mortgage brokers took advantage of people, they got them into loans they didn't understand. Oh, give me a break. Everybody, in my opinion, or the majority of people, understood what they were doing. They just wanted to do it anyway, and you're an example of this. So, all right, so here you are, and now what is your question to me?
Now, we just recently put our house on the market. And if our home sells for $15,000 less than we bought it for, we're going to have to pay $50,000 out of our retirement to get out of the house.
Yeah.
We also have 700 plus FICO scores, so if we walk away from the home, we're going to, take the chance of ruining those FICO scores.
Some banks now, in particular, because they don't want the house to be foreclosed on, they don't want to end up owning a house in a downward real estate market, is that they will take the house back, and they will take it back for short of what you owe them for, because they rather have a little bit deficit than end up with this home. The best thing you can try to do is to see if you can do a short sale. Other than that, either you're going to have to make more money somehow, get a second or third job, or you're going to put the house on the market for sale and see what you can get. And if you're short of it, it's just a lesson that you're going to have to chalk up to experience on this one. Listen, I just want to tell you briefly what strikes me funny about tonight's show. As you know, this show was all about real estate, and we did have 2 questions from real estate professionals, one a mortgage broker, one a real estate agent, and those professionals happen to be confused. Now, if some professionals are confused, I don't want you to be too hard on yourself if you're confused as to what to do in your particular situation.